reacting to the news of, well, what is in fact a massive merger in the advertising world.
Yes, mega merger indeed. Publicis from here in France, 87 years old Publicis, is merging with Omnicom, which is a huge US-based advertising group. Together, the two will create a huge company employing 130,000 people. There we can see the two heads of the companies signing some agreements yesterday at the Publicis headquarters in the Champs-Élysées. They've got a nice roof terrace there. Now, between them, they will now be the biggest. It used to be that Britain's WPP, which owns companies like Ogilvy, for example, was the biggest of the three. But by joining forces, Publicis and Omnicom will now take over, comfortably dwarfing WPP, and it will be Interpublic, in fact, another of these big groups of advertising agencies, PR companies, media buying companies as well, all sorts of things that line up. Now, I've been taking a look at what's been going on with the shares. Now, actually, Publicis shares, which are listed here in Paris, have not been trading yet because they're going to wait until the New York Stock Exchange opens later today. But WPP, one of those, the second biggest now, their shares are up 3.9%, and Havas, another big French group, up 6%, showing that there's a feeling perhaps that all these advertising groups could do quite well out of this.
OK, big question, I suppose. Why? What's the reason?
Yes, well, they say that they're responding to a change in the way that the industry operates. What used to happen, or what still happens for the most part, is big companies like Pepsi, for example, go to these agencies to get their advertising made, to buy media space. Well, with the arrival of the internet, lots of them can go to Google, for example, to buy their space directly. And Publicis and Omnicom say they want to position themselves better to compete with the likes of Google.
And any problems before the deal's done?
Well, there will be 45 different regulators that need to check that it's OK.
Right.
That's quite a big issue to get through, although not necessarily will be problematic. The other one is client conflict. Now, these are some of the clients that are housed within Publicis and Omnicom. You can see that Coca-Cola and Pepsi, for example, are competing. They're going to have to work out how to keep all of those clients happy so that they don't feel we're going to be sharing secrets with each other.
OK, what about the rest of the markets at this stage?
Yes, well, the rest of the Asian markets, in fact, were having a pretty bad trading session for this Monday. You can see they all fell. A strong yen there hurting shares in Japan. The Nikkei down, Shanghai Composite as well off. European markets, though, opening, managing to shake that off and opening up in pretty positively at the start of this Monday.
Going to stay in Europe now. The boss at the German engineering company, Siemens, looks set to lose his job. He's been warned, isn't he?
He's been warned, and it looks like when the board meets this Wednesday, he will be ousted and a replacement will be named. Now, this is Peter Löscher, you can see there we're talking about. He became chief exec 6 years ago, but hasn't been universally admired. The company issued another profit warning in recent days. I can tell you that shares in Siemens up about 1.3% this morning on this news.
Now, we've got a royal baby boom for you for a French designer in London. Now, Cécile Renaud set up a business there designing maternity dresses, in fact, 10 years ago. Then she got one very, very famous customer. Yes, you've guessed it, it's the Duchess of Cambridge. Oliver Farry explains.
The love story between Cécile Renaud and the Duchess of Cambridge is one that dates back 9 months.
This was the first dress of ours that she bought. She found it in a department store. She bought this black dress and leggings to go with it, and that's where it all began.
It's fairy tale stuff for the London-based French fashion designer whose work has for weeks been splashed across the front pages of magazines, and it's been good for business.
Our turnover is up 40%, and since she came out of hospital, it's gone up 70%.
And the expectant mothers of London are quite taken.
Oh, she was super stylish. Yeah, super stylish. She looked amazing throughout, didn't she?
I didn't know where she was buying her dresses, but because she looked good, you know, come here and see whether you can look as good.
It's quite the success story for Renaud, who set up her own label 10 years ago. She now employs 50 people, a company with a turnover of €9 million and a creation that is quintessentially French.
When I go to the US or Japan, people love the fact that I'm French. We are the land of haute couture, of well-dressed women, so it's definitely an image that helps a lot.
An object of particular pride is this lavender floral print dress, the very one Kate Middleton wore when she came out of hospital.
We had 150 dresses in stock. They were all sold in the space of 2 or 3 hours.
At €60, the dresses are affordable, something which reflects the label's strategy to dress celebrities without neglecting less well-off customers.
There you go, you see the French doing well out of the royal baby as well. Matthew, thanks a lot, Matthew. With business at this time, of course, every day here on France 24. Now we're going to go over the other side of the desk. It's time for the international newspapers. Nick Rushworth here with a look at the world press. He started